Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I say, okay, ladies, now let's get information. You know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation. Always stay gracious, best revenge is your paper.
It's your girl, the thick rider chick, coming at you one more again, Miss Courtney Lyric in a place to be. And today we are discussing one of my new favorite shows, which is technically an ongoing, if you will, of a previous childhood favorite. Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I personally got more into the X Men after the movies. And then I went back and kind of watched the original series. But again, even that was 20 years ago. So, in case you've been living under the rock, and was unaware, Disney Channel has started a series called X Men 97, which is a continuation of the original X Men series that ended in, I believe, 96. So, to get this party jumping, hold up, hold up. Hold up, hold up. I want to get a little get the theme music popping a little bit. Hold on. Hey, hey, hey,
It's
hey.
the Jet Squad.
Okay, okay. Just had to give y'all a little taste of that remix. I was back here jamming. I was looking for a bounce remix, but that's the closest thing I can find. It's been more so made popular on TikTok. So yeah. So anyway, um, if you don't know this about me, let me just feel free to share this. I'm a story girl. If the storyline is there, if the characters are there, I don't really care what the medium is. I'll check it out. So if you follow me like on Facebook or anything, you know that I watch like anime, animation, but only if the storyline is there. I don't really necessarily have a genre that I stick to. If I did have to choose a favorite genre, I guess it would be historical drama live action. But like I said, I don't discriminate. So if the character arcs are there, if the writing is there, you know, I'm gonna check it out. And I have to say that I do feel like the creators of X-Men 97 were most definitely in their creative bags with this with this spinoff, if you will. Like, yes, there's action. For sure. The fight scenes have been great. Like even in the first episode, Storm handling those sentinels, Gambit jumping on Wolverine's back and lighting up his claws and them, doing the damage and it's been some A1 stuff. Even Cyclops has had a moment to shine. And I know y'all be giving Cyclops hell, boy, but the action is there, but that's never been enough to keep me. Some people will watch anime or movies that just have hands and ass kicking with no real purpose, with no real motive, just a bunch of ass whooping and hands. And that's fine, but for me, it's not. So not only do you get the hands that you love, you also get character arcs, character development, you get storylines. And if you watch the original, which I recently went back and watched it, it's a really good continuation of it. The story picks up with Professor Xavier or Charles Xavier dying. And when I say they have done so well at making a cartoon relatable. That's what I mean when I say storytelling. If the relatability is there, it's very hard for an audience to be like, oh, this is bullshit. Even though people have been trying, and we'll get to that later. Um, the story picks up with grief. The X Men are grieving. They've lost pretty much the only thing they've known as far as a father. Excuse me, most of them, their father figure, they're grieving. So who can't relate to that? So they're grieving the loss of their leader, of their father, And then with Cyclops, if you've ever been like an eldest sibling or a matriarch or a patriarchal figure in a family that has lost its original leader, and you are simultaneously grieving while still trying to lead, that's Cyclops. That's relatable. And then you have Jean, or is it? Ha ha ha. Who is pregnant during all this, who is thinking about, yes, the team, and yes, be here for our family, but also she's having to think like a wife and mother now. That's relatable. You know what I'm saying? With the original series, Jubilee was more so the teenager who was just trying to find their place in the world and find a place where they fit in. In this series, it's more so the young Hispanic boy. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. He is not very memorable to me. I will say of all the characters, he is like just kind of there. Hopefully they pick his storyline up, or there ends up being like some kind of plot twist with him in the future, or he develops more. But as of right now, he's just kind of like the Jubilee of this series. But still, it's relatable, finding out that you're different and wanting to be normal and trying to find your place in the world, or navigating life, transitioning from a teenager to an adult. That's relatable. And then you've got Wolverine, um, pining after somebody that he loves or wants but technically can't have. Relatable. Then you got Jean having to choose between the man she loves and that she should be with, and this other guy that, he over there too. I see you over there too. Relatable. Love triangles are very relatable. So I think it's very mature writing, very intelligent and good writing to put what is considered adult concepts in what is technically a children's show. So it's very relatable. It really is. It's more, even the fights of the mutants versus the non-mutants, minorities, LGBTQ groups that are not always given the same rights as others, fighting to get rights, just fighting to be treated like normal people. Very relatable. In fact, to my understanding, Stanley originally created the X-Men with the idea of the civil rights, with the idea of like a Malcolm X mentality, more so for Magneto, and a Martin Luther King mentality more so for Charles Xavier. So, but we will get to it. So the ideology that a lot of the child anti-wokers, I hate to even use that whack ass term, but this is how they identify themselves, have with this show, and claiming that it's woke, another, I hate the day that I don't even want to say white people, that misguided conservatives got a hold of the word woke. You ruined it, you ruined it, you ruined it. But pretty much what woke has come to mean is, in their minds, pushing an agenda. There's usually handicapped people, LGBTQ, a gender swap, or there's some, pretty much, long story short, not straight, whites, and male. If it falls out of those confines, it's woke. If we can be real. But anyway, so a lot of those folks are claiming that the new show is woke. So I went back, like I said, to rewatch the original, and they're full of shit. That has always been this. We'll get to it, but anyway, back to the relatability. So the show is very relatable, and I think it's very good writing to make people see themselves to a certain degree, or at least be able to relate to characters that are 2D. That's good writing. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even with Storm, when she loses the thing that makes her special, people can relate to that. It may not be like a mutant power. You might not be a weather goddess, but maybe going through a divorce. Losing a business, losing a part of your identity, and having to redefine yourself, or either find your way back to that or redefine yourself without it. That is relatable as fuck. Like I'm telling you, the writers was in a bag. So with that being said, for the most part, most of the reviews I've seen, when you bring the noise, even haters have to be quiet. That's what I'm saying. A lot of the anti-wokers have complaints, but ain't a damn one of them saying it ain't good. You can't, because when you bring the noise, when you give actual good storytelling, ain't shit nobody can say. They can have their complaints. And let's go to the complaints. The complaints for the anti-wokers have mostly been about the character Morph, which even in the original nine X-Men series, Morph is such a backdoor character. Like he there, but he's not a frontman. He wasn't even in the movies. Like most of you did not even know who Morph was. Like I said, unless you either watched the previous series, read the comics, or are watching this series. So these anti-workers are coming out of nowhere, being upset about a character who has always been there, but always been in the background anyway. Technically, if you are a shapeshifter, you can be any sex at any time. Mystique really isn't any different. But I guess because, to my understanding, this particular morph has been identified as non-binary. The anti-walkers are not here for it. But if you really want to get technical, he is non-binary. Like, if you can shapeshift, you don't technically have a sex. But and who gives a fuck? Even if it is, like, when I say we probably have had morph in like one episode, maybe two of the six. Like, who cares? But bigoted people who have nothing better to do will sit here and nitpick even good work about the tiniest, most idiotic things. They also are mad because air quote Magneto has gotten a makeover, which again, I'm rewatching the original series. His hair is long in that series as well. He just always has on that fucking helmet. But when it got knocked off, luscious locks of white. So I don't really know what the beef is. And to be honest, of all the forms that I have seen Magneto in, original X-Men, the films, and this one, okay, the guy who plays Ian something, he also played the wizard, but in Lord of the Rings. As far as I'm concerned, that's my Magneto. He did and might I add, he is gay. For the people that didn't know. So all of y'all trying to be mad all of a sudden out of nowhere about nothing, talking about the new Magneto is too feminine, bitch. Where have you been? And when I say bitch, I mean where have you been? Like, where you been? 20 years ago in 2000 when that movie came out, that man was openly gay and played a badass Magneto. And so I'm not understanding like the ignorance now. But anyway, that's my Magneto. That's who I grew up with. However, character wise, of all of the Magnetos I've been introduced to, I like this one the best. He's multifaceted. He's more than just angry at humans and bitter about the things that they've done to him. And though it's justified righteous anger, I have never thought that Magneto was technically completely wrong. This Magneto is multifaceted, honey. And he's probably like that in the comics. I apologize. I didn't read the comics. So I got the cartoons and the movies, and I'm up to date on all of that. But baby, first of all, Charles, I don't know how I feel about him leaving the X-Men to him. And I know I know my boy my boy Cyclops definitely took that as a punch to the throat, as if he wasn't already doubting himself. That's what I mean. It's very relatable material. But Charles then left the X-Men, the house, the school, and all that shit to Magneto. But Magneto has had to become something he's never been in order to truly lead and honor Charles. He could not be his old self. He could not be Magneto from the original X-Men or even Magneto from the movies and continue Charles's legacy. It was so big of him that when Storm protected him and he had an opportunity to murk them people, and I know movies X-Men would have did it, movie Magneto would have did it instantly. Them niggas would have been dead, and I would have been fine with that. But but he had a minute. And he was like, I'm trying to be like Charles, and y'all making that real hard. But I've matured, and he ain't killed nobody. Oh, but he was pissed. And again, if Disney wanted to take it there, I wasn't gonna send no hate mail. Shit, y'all shot her first. It's self defense. Like, I mean. So with that being said, I really like this Magneto. I don't care about his 18-inch bust down because, again, if you watch the original cartoon series, he had hair. The short hair is Ian, and maybe somewhere in the comics, but in the original series from 1992, he had him a little wrap. He just always had the helmet on. And so the episode that I saw when they knocked the helmet off, what do you know? He got some length. He got some inches. So quit trying to say they feminized Magneto. They have not. The outfit is from the comic. The hair been there. He just always wears the helmet. This is what it is. So I mean, um, but anyway, those have been the complaints of the mad. Those of us that are here for good quality content really don't give a shit about none of that. Magneto is multifaceted. Okay, he had a fairy fair with Rogue, and apparently they've been keeping that on the low low. for forever. Um, he's matured. You know, people are putting him in a position, like even in Genosha, people are putting him in a leadership position, and he has to. At least so far, I ain't. We still got some episodes to go. Um, so I'm digging the new Magneto. Of all the Magnetos I've been introduced to thus far, he is my favorite. Now Ian is still, and I want to say his name is Ian. If it ain't Ian, forgive me. But the actor who played him in the 2000 movies, that's who I grew up with. That's still my Magneto. However, this Magneto got some depth to him. That's all I'm saying. I ain't mad at it because the one in the original cartoons was very, you know, the usual the backstory from the movies. Hey, I went to concentration camp, righteously understandable anger. I hate humans and I'm ready to be done with them. We are superior. Okay, very cut and dry. It's under the motives are understandable. You know, but this one is a little more multifaceted. So I like a good character arc. I love me some good character development. So I'm feeling a bust down 18-inch Magneto. I don't care. Ooh, he looks like a grandma. Who grandma? Baby Magneto, baby. He ain't become no less a G. Okay, so let's just get on to what everybody really wants to talk about, which is episode 5. But that was just my catch up. Like, a lot of people have been mad, but no one can deny the show is good. It's good. Um, the character development is there, the character arc is there, the storylines are there. We got love triangles, we got Jean is a clone. So it's like Jean turned out to be a clone. Um, Madeline Pryor is the name of the clone, and that is who had Cyclops' baby. So now Cyclops is in a very odd position, loving two women at the same time. What can I say? It's relatable, and you can't really be mad at him because he thought the clone was her. It ain't. I wouldn't call it cheating because shit, bitch, I ain't know. Hell, I thought it was you. And him and this clone have had a child together. I feel like the clones. A lot of people have said that they felt like the episode where we found out Jean was a clone was a little rushed, and I agree because we could have gotten 2 or 3 episodes out of that one, like her becoming Madam Goblin, cornering Sinister, all of that. We could have got about at least 2 to 3 good episodes out of that. But I understand moving along, like we have more important things to get to, so I understand. But could we have gotten a little arc out of that? For sure. I kind of like the Goblin Queen. You know, like you can't really be mad at Madeline because I'm a clone. Like, what do you want from me? Like, but she had her little, instead of us riding with her through her transition from oh my god I'm a clone to now I'm a villain to okay I think I just want to be Madeline Pryor, but also I'm still kind of missing Cyclops and the life we had together. We could have got a good 2 3 episodes out of that. We could have got a little arc out of that. But okay, it's a cartoon, so moving on. But and then here's Wolverine, and I think the easy solution. I mean, you can't force your will on nobody. Like if Madeline ain't feeling Wolverine, it is what it is. But baby, Wolverine been coming with them lines, honey. Remember remember when she read his mind and she was like, "You feel that for me?" And he was like, "That and more, baby, that and more, baby." Wolverine ain't holding back. He got that old school love, and I'm here for it. We live in the era of ooh, you showed some kind of emotions to a woman. You are a simp, baby. Wolverine been around since the Civil War, my nigga. He is of a different breed. I don't care. Now, what's funny is I'm rewatching the original cartoon, and baby Wolverine stayed mad. Now, in that, like, move on. Like, even in this show, a part of me is like, baby, first of all, you gonna outlive both of these genes. Move on, honey. Move on. Like she's with Scott. There really isn't much you can do. You're handsome. You're ageless. Move on. But I mean, who doesn't love some good, a love triangle? There's this like unspoken conflict between him and I feel like the movies captured that him and Cyclops. I feel like they captured that kind of well too. They captured that well. Then we got Bishop. Bishop is our time traveler. In the original X-Men, he came in hot. I was not feeling Bishop originally, but of course by this time Bishop is a friend. So And he's going back and forth, trying to get shit straight. And then we have episode 5. Oh, if I didn't mention your favorites, I'm sorry. They must have not been all that important. The storylines that have really been geeked up have been, of course, Storm and Forge. But Storm, we ain't seen her in like the last episode or two. Of course, the love triangle with Jean, Madeline, and Cyclops. And then there's Wolverine over there, friend zoning himself forever. Um, and there's Jubilee and her little friend. I'm not really checking for them. And of course, there's Gambit. Okay, I apologize. Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto with a little secret relationship. That little triangle, that unspoken, I can feel. I think he always knew. Like I could tell something was going on there, and something's weird now that Magneto is here. But I'm gonna be over here. So yeah, that is still going on as well. So sorry for not bringing it up, but because I'm really trying to get to episode 5. Okay, so let's talk episode 5. I think it is safe to say that every person from Louisiana who watches this show is just proud to be a motherfucking Louisiana resident or either a Louisiana bred person right about now. Honestly, we didn't get Gambit in the movies. We got him in one movie. And that's when the actor who played John Carter played him, and I think the Wolverine movie or the X-Men Origins Wolverine, whatever. That's all we got a Gambit. He deserved better, I admit, because Gambit is a motherfucking G, and a capital G at that. Like, I don't want to get too much to talking about the old series, but I'm rewatching the old series, like I said, and I just got past the part where he had to go home to Louisiana and get some shit straight. Like, Gambit is a G. And aside from being a G, he's a lover boy. Like, okay, here's the thing about Gambit. He's like the cool one. He's like the cool Southern guy. He's it's Sherry, yeah. Ladies' man is what you would get from him. But in all honesty, the person whose heart he is pining for, he can't even touch. So it's not like no. When he said some things be deeper than skin, come on now. Literally, like no pun intended, but pun intended. He can't touch Rogue. They ain't even fucked yet. I'm pardon my language. They ain't even had sex yet. So everything he feels for her is genuinely out of the love of who she is as a person. Is out of a bond they share that isn't even physical. And yeah, he a little playboy. He could be easily. Uh, Gambit do be fine, honey. Okay, and he can cook. What? He could easily be a playboy, but his heart belongs to Rogue. And this is a woman that he can't even touch. We didn't even get Gambit. We got motherfucking Iceman in the in the movies. Bobby. You know, I'm a sidebar real quick. I see why. Okay, the X-Men movies have a special place in my heart. I know a lot of people hate them, but that's what put me on to Marvel, like Blade and those movies. But I can see why a lot of people feel like Rogue got shortchanged. Rogue is probably one of the fiercest of the X-Men women. Like she definitely holds her own. She's strong, she's powerful, she has a personality, and she's got spunk. And movie Rogue was just some little. She was Jubilee. You know what I'm saying? She was just some lost teenager who I can't touch anybody, I can't do anything, I can't fly. She was really shortchanged, and we didn't get to see her in Gambit. So I can see why people are upset with those films for how they did Rogue and how they did Gambit because they were so desperate to give us Wolverine. And don't get me wrong, he is my Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's my Wolverine forever. And we got him, and Mohim. Like, damn, okay, yay. He's handsome and he's doing the role well. But where the fuck are the other X-Men? Like, it was so fixated on him and the Phoenix and their little love triangle that, yeah, Rogue is just kind of like, meh, so anywho. But anyway, so circling back. So episode 5, Gambit. We go to Genosha. To talk peace, to make things official. It's like a utopia, if you will, for mutants, which they kind of touch on it in the first. I'm still rewatching the first one. I'm not all the way to the end. I'm like on season 2, so they kind of touch on it there. But Charles's dream has become a reality. And I remember thinking as soon as the episode started, these people are sitting ducks. Like, for a bigot, this is nothing. Y'all all on one planet. I'm finna come bomb you. Which is wild because I thought the idea was get away from us. Yeah, but what can I say? Black Wall Street. Hello. Like I said, The man knew what he was doing and what he was talking about. So why anti-wokers feel like there's some agenda being pushed? It was always inspired by real life. These people done went and found their own motherfucking planets. I don't know if it was a planet or if they just float in the sky where it's at. We didn't find our own area to kick it, and you gonna come and bomb us. But art imitates life. So anywho, beautiful place. I remember thinking if I was a mutant, this is most definitely where I would be. But we know how that goes. They had a little ball. Rogue is invited to be the queen. When I say there were so many emotions in this one episode, okay. First, it started off with Scandal and T. Our beloved clone is up here getting her journalism on or whatever. So now we back together again, making Jean uncomfortable. You know, Cyclops has had it up to here with these people bullshit, and baby, the Boy Scout gave him a mouthful. When Little Miss Reporter Man was doing too fucking much, he checked her with the quickness. Baby, I had a son and I gave him up to give you ungrateful hoes a better life. Get out my motherfucking business. I was here, Cyclops, because she was giving Joan Rivers except annoying. Like, it was too much. And he said he had enough. All that we sacrifice for y'all to hate us still, all that we give up to keep you hoes safe, just for y'all to still give us the colored water fountains. And you have the audacity to sit here and say, I'm not giving you enough. And the reason we're doing this is to let people know that you're just like us. No, we're not just like humans. Please, humans are selfish, mofo. Like, he went off. But anyway, meanwhile, Jean over here, out here I'm just trying to see, what is my life and what's mine and what's Madeline's, and I don't even know. But I know this much. She sure put her lips on Wolverine. I ain't gonna lie, at first I thought it was a clone, and the internet cleared that up for me real quick. No, bitch, that is Jean. And this wasn't no dream world or in no second dimension. In real life, she put them lips on Wolverine. And I just want to give Wolverine, give him his props for being like, you know what, sis? I think you just having an emotional moment. That's your man, not me. And I'm not going to take advantage of your vulnerability. Okay. Here. I'm here for the stand up guy shit. And he walked off. Which, again, since there's two of them, why he just don't holler at Madeline, I don't know. Maybe because Madeline is still in love with Cyclops. Hello. So apparently, the two of them have been meeting in what's it got? Meet me at our spot. They've been meeting at him and Jean's special telepathic spot and just, not humping, but just talking to each other, And so Jean finds out about this. Mind you, she finds out about this after she tried to throw that ass in a circle at Wolverine. And it's like, oh my God, Cyclops, I can't believe you. How long has this been going on? How long you been doing this? Cheater, pumpkin eater. As if you just didn't try to do a full Nelson on Wolverine's face in that pond, sis. Come on now. Come on. Can we be real? I'm pro woman all day long, but bitch, you was actually cheating. This man is in a weird place. Now, he did try to flip the script on her and gaslight her, and I didn't appreciate that. Because he don't know about the cheating yet. So when she was like, bro, what's up? How long has been going on? But do you even love me, or am I a memory? Oh my goodness, he sounds just like a nigga when he said that. I was like, look at him. He been hanging around Bishop too much. No, you're not coming with the flip the script, sir. No, you're not. But do you even really love me? At least I know what he wanted to say was, I know Madeline really loved me because she had my baby. But he didn't want to get his brain exploded. And then here go Jean. I was summoned to the cosmos and I gave that up for you all. You also just put your lips on Wolverine. You have a right to feel hurt, but baby, you not no better than him. And at least his is kind of understandable. It's too many, so they started us off with this tea, honey. And then right after that, here come Magneto swinging his luscious locks in Rogue's direction. What up, Rogue? You know we had that thing back in the day. Look, I need me a female counterpart up here to rule. How about you be my queen? What's up? We can announce it at the ball tonight. It didn't take much for her to say yes. So then she's like, well, I got to talk to Sugar. And then she finally goes and tells him the truth. And my boy, being a G, the capital G that he is, he's just throwing the little cards in the fire. So what up? You gonna tell him yes or no? And she's like, yeah. He's like, you know what? Kiss his hand. That's all right. We just be friends. He handled it like such a G. Him and Wolverine was on they grown man shit on this here episode, boy. Like, okay, fellas, I see you. So all this scandalism is going on. So we already are like, you know, oh my god, scandal. And then it just goes from scandal to tragic. Like I said, they took our emotions all over the world in this one episode. So here come Rogue in her little red bust down dress up here floating in the sky with Magneto's old ass. And they kiss, and she's just like, you know what? My Cajun boo was right. Some things do be deeper than skin. And and so she ultimately decides to get with her boo Gambit. Like, okay, so we can't F. So we can't have nothing physical really. My heart is with you. Like, that is relatable AF, bro. That is relatable AF. So right when things are cooking, like I said, right when the scandals are scandaling, here come sentinels, here come bombs, and it just went from ooh girl, hot tea to somebody pour the wine real quick. Like it went from hot tea to wine real quick. Like they was getting blown the entire fuck up. So first we see Cable, and he's like, talking to Madeline from the future, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to stop it, and boom, boom, boom. So bombs is coming. Baby Magneto, like I said, Grandma Ware. Baby Magneto was a motherfucking G in this entire scene. Him and Gambit, baby, they did not come to play with them Sentinels. They were saving people. They was blowing shit up. You could hardly tell he was a 70-year-old man or however old he is, baby. He was out there giving them things the work. And eventually, they got the upper hand. And my boy Gambit, being the capital G that he is, saved the motherfucking day. I knew what was coming. Him and Rogue was really trying. They were Nightcrawler too. Nightcrawler is actually my favorite X-Men. And he did his motherfucking thing too. But like the stars, of course, were Magneto and Gambit. So and Rogue, she was trying to do her thing too. But man, my boy, he did what needed to be done to save the day. And it was the ultimate sacrifice. And he got up. He really had to drop on that thing until it got like a plot armor. It got him like with the little side jab, and he's like, I forgot exactly what he said, but it was cold as fuck. It was like the name's Gambit. Don't forget, or some shit like some epic shit like that, and then blew himself and the machine up, and man, just real hot boy shit. But man, I haven't watched the new episode yet. I'm watching on my lunch break, but it's just like writers. And look here. I'm a big fan of being okay with killing off audience favorites, which is why Game of Thrones is one of my favorite, and then Walking Dead is one of my favorites too. Sometimes you have to cut. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut some of our favorites off. It can't always be all the protagonists make it to the end. So if they don't resurrect our favorite, I respect it because they didn't resurrect Charles. But if you've seen Days of Future Past, or if you read the Days of Future Past comics, we are dealing with time tech. So time traveling tech. So if something works its way out and we get Gambit back, I'm here for that too. I'm most definitely here for that too. Like if they keep it dark, I'm okay with that because if the storytelling is good, keep it moving. If Storm don't ever get her powers back, as long as her storyline stay good, okay. But do we really want our good sis to get her powers back? Of course. If Gambit remains dead, he's a martyr for the cause. Hate it. But if we get our homeboy back, of course, as long as it's done epically and written well, I'm here for it. And I think we got like 4 or 5 episodes left. So but yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When she said that one last line, I ain't gonna lie. I was finding little tears back. She was like, I can't feel you, sugar. Damn it. Damn it to hell, boy. Gambit, get your ass up, boy. But no, he was out for the count, at least from what I saw. I have not watched episode 6 yet. And damn it, boy. Like, but he went out like a motherfucking G. The G in Gambit is most definitely for gangster, because baby, he went out like a G. And it just shows that, yeah, he's that suave southern cool guy, but at the end of the day, his heart is for, like, he's selfless. That's what makes somebody a G. You know what I'm saying? Like, he thinks of others before himself. That's why he was so, even though it probably hurt him a lot, he easily was like, you know what, Rogue, whatever makes you happy. Ain't no bad blood here. Oh, it's a lot of these tenderonis today could never. So he's real big on, okay. And what can I say? He's a capital G. So if they want to use a little time technology, if Bishop and Cable get something together and bring our boy back, I'm with it. If they don't, I respect it, because it's good fucking storytelling. So either way, I'm okay with it. But I gotta say, they brought the noise on episode 5. They gave us all the emotions. They gave us tea. They gave us scandal. And then they gave us heartbreak. So we'll see what happens this week. So for the people who Gambit has always been your favorite, I can kind of understand why now. Even though I'm from Louisiana, I just never cared for Gambit. I felt like the accent was too thick. But then again, I am from North Louisiana, not South. The Cajun is real, so. But he was never my fave. I didn't have any beef with him. He's just never my fave. It was always like Nightcrawler and Storm, so I mean, but baby, after this episode, I understand why he might be your number one. Like, Remy is that dude, for real. Like, he went out like a G, he composes himself like a G, and he can cook. And he's a respectful, consentful guy. Like, he's dealing with a woman he can't even touch, and still giving her all the love and all the princess treatment. I'm here for it. Okay, Gambit, I'm here for it. So that's all my time. I really enjoyed the series. Leave any comments or any, if you've enjoyed the series. Also, if you have not subscribed, subscribe if you're watching via YouTube. Leave a comment, get good content out there. It's so much bullshit content, and there are people that are making good quality content. Support us so that we can bring you more of that, and maybe we can starve the foolishness that is being put out there. But long story short, the reason I have to hurry up and go is because I have a job to clock in. We could have talked about this for hours, but I got stuff to do. So if I get monetized, hello, I go part-time, and we can have these conversations all day long and live at all times. But anyway, sprinkle, do with that what you will. But that's all my time for today. It's still Team Nightcrawler over here, but baby Gambit brought the motherfucking noise, as did Magneto. Jean, you're wrong as fuck with your cheating ass. And Cyclops, you don't know about the cheating yet, so save the gaslighting. But I appreciate his honesty. He is in love with 2 people. I had a baby with this woman, and we lost the baby. You mad because, I mean, it's not like he had a side B and got her pregnant. It was literally a clone of you. Surely you could be a little more understanding. I'm just saying. So let's get Storm back in the circle. We didn't, we need to see what's going on with her and that big fine dude Forge. Even though he did technically help make the tech that took my girl's powers away. You got some splaining to do, Lucy. But anyway, that's my time. God bless. Believe in yourself, believe in your gifts, and use those things to make the world a better place. Bye.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that likes to